The dolphin dives toward the ocean floor, holding something in its mouth. At first glance, it looks like food. But as the animal glides through the clear blue water, something doesn't make sense. It isn't eating, it isn't playing. Instead, the dolphin carefully places the object over the end of its beak. Then, it disappears into a maze of sharp rocks and broken coral, where most predators would never dare to hunt. Minutes later, it emerges with a fish. Scientists have watched this behavior for decades. And every time, it raises the same question. Why would one of the smartest animals in the ocean carry a sponge instead of simply using its teeth? The answer reveals one of the most remarkable examples of intelligence ever discovered beneath the waves. Most dolphins hunt in open water. They chase schools of fish, surround their prey, then strike with incredible speed. It's fast, efficient, and highly successful. But in Shark Bay, Australia, a small group of Indo-Pacific bottlenose dolphins does something completely different. They leave the safety of open water and descend to the seafloor. Here, fish hide deep inside rocky crevices, beneath loose sand, and between razor-sharp coral. It's a dangerous place to search. One careless movement could leave a dolphin's sensitive beak badly injured. Yet these dolphins return, again and again, as if they know something the others don't. When researchers first observed this behavior, they thought it was an accident. Perhaps the dolphin had picked up the sponge while searching for food. But the same thing happened again and again. The dolphins weren't carrying random objects. They were choosing living sea sponges, large enough to cover the tip of their beaks, then carefully placing them in position before every dive. It was deliberate, purposeful, almost as if they were putting on a pair of gloves before beginning work. But why? What made these dolphins different from all the others swimming beside them? The mystery had only just begun. To understand the answer, scientists followed these dolphins for years. We think of animal intelligence. The sponge wasn't bait, it wasn't camouflage, it wasn't food, it was protection. As the dolphin searched between jagged rocks and broken shells, the thick sponge absorbed the impact. Without it, the dolphin's beak could easily be cut or scraped. The sponge allowed the animal to explore places that other dolphins simply avoided, and those dangerous places were filled with hidden fish. Suddenly, everything made sense. The sponge wasn't catching the prey. It was allowing the dolphin to reach prey that nobody else could. If using a sponge is such an advantage, why doesn't every dolphin do it? Scientists expected the behavior to spread quickly. Instead, they found the opposite. Only a small number of dolphins ever became sponge hunters. Even more surprising, almost all of them belong to the same family lines. For years, young calves swim beside their mothers, watching every dive, every successful hunt. One day, the young dolphin picks up its very first sponge, not because instinct told it to, but because it had spent years learning from the best teacher it would ever have. This wasn't instinct, it was education. For a long time, scientists believed culture belonged only to humans. Then they looked beneath the waves. Different dolphin communities hunt in completely different ways. Some trap fish inside rings of mud. Others create walls of bubbles. Some cooperate in large teams. And in Shark Bay, a few carry sponges. These traditions aren't written into DNA. They're learned, shared, and passed from one generation to the next. Just like human traditions, the ocean wasn't filled with identical dolphins. It was filled with different societies, each solving problems in its own unique way. Tool use is extraordinarily rare in nature. Chimpanzees strip leaves from sticks to catch termites. Sea otters crack shells with stones. New Caledonian crows carefully shape hooks from twigs. Now, dolphins join that remarkable list. But what makes sponge hunting truly special isn't simply using an object, it's understanding why that object works. The dolphin chooses the right sponge, uses it for a specific purpose, and teaches the behavior to the next generation. That requires memory, problem solving, learning, and patience. When humans look across the ocean, we mostly see empty water. A dolphin sees something completely different. It hears echoes bouncing from the seafloor. It recognizes familiar hunting grounds. It remembers where hidden fish like to hide. And for a few remarkable dolphins, a simple sea sponge becomes part of that underwater world. Not as food, not as a toy, but as a carefully chosen tool, a piece of equipment. One that transforms a dangerous landscape into an opportunity. The next time you imagine dolphins, you'll probably picture them leaping through waves or swimming beside boats. But somewhere in Shark Bay, another dolphin is quietly descending toward the seafloor. A sponge covers the end of its beak, not because evolution gave it armor, but because it learned how to make its own. Perhaps that's the most extraordinary part of this story. Intelligence isn't simply knowing how to survive. It's discovering a better way and making sure the next generation never has to start from the beginning. Sometimes the greatest inventions aren't made by humans. Sometimes they begin with a dolphin, a sponge, and an idea passed from mother to calf beneath the waves.